been a little over a week and I'm trying to do buzz bars. So this is what we're going to talk about today. Buzz bars. I made this. What do you reckon? I made this originally. It's not too bad. Like they're 10mm bolts and they're a bit longer than the other ones. They're 25s. So I was going to go with that for my buzz bar and then drill some holes through it and put a heap of bolts onto it. I think the bolts cost me here in Australia around about $20 or $30, somewhere in that range. Then I decided to get onto one of the websites that'll calculate how big a buzz bar you want for how many amps. I was thinking about 600 amps. Not sure what you think. I'm just, trying to work it out myself. So I couldn't get hold of any copper bar like on Andy's channel, for instance. So I ended up I did have all this copper pipe, and it's about 25 across, and 3 of these will make about 8mm. And I was going to put 2 of these that I used for my original bar across them. Now to shrink these down, I ended up using a vise to shrink them down, and then I got my anvil and I had to physically smash them down to get them flat. These ones aren't perfectly flat, but once they're bolted together, they'll be perfect. Hold on. What the hell am I doing? I should have been watching Andy's channel, because he had some stuff that he just picked up. It wasn't this, because these are small buzz bars for the people that run around in caravans. Quite well built, covered, unscrew them. But like, these wouldn't take any more than probably 30 or 40 amps, these ones. Not sure if they'd take any more than that. And these are made in the US by LYNX Racing. So there's 2 of them there. If you're building a caravan and you need them, hit me up and we'll talk about it. Because I had to pay for them, but they're here, sitting here. So they're the smaller buzz bars. Internet to work out what current is going to cut across here and produce enough current across them, mainly the current, not the voltage, but to flow across. So that's what I needed just for the 300s. The 300 amps. Probably could have gone a little bit smaller than that, but I think you've seen it on a previous show. If you haven't seen it, it'll be up the top. I'll link it in. Then these are the original bus bars that come with the battery. We're not talking about these at the moment, just working into it. And these are little bus bars that you use in circuit breakers that they put in there. They're brass. They wouldn't take much current. They're more for an earth, but not very good earth. But we need something that'll go on LM3510s, don't we? So what came on Friday? Well, it's like Christmas here, thanks to another guy from over there on the other channels, on Andy's channel, which is really good. The Off-Grid Garage, or you watch my stuff. I've got extra stuff that'll be coming pretty soon. I've got another little thing to put up this week that I'm sure everyone that needs to save time will need. All right, what do we get here? We have the LYNX powering. Now, it's got a nice new cover for it. A spare cover. That's very interesting. Throwing a spare cover in. Now, $210. I think I had to pay tax on top of that. So $212, I think it was, and then on top of that there was tax, $20 tax. So $233 here in Australia. There's our box. you can add to it on the side. If you haven't seen it, can't even get that off. How the hell did you get it off, Andy? Anyway, well, we got it off, so it's all good. We got that off. We had a look. Pretty cool. Made by the guys in Holland. Okay, guys, let's cover this stuff. All right. There's the old one, the cheap. Well, it's not cheap. That's not a cheap product. This is the stuff that I was using, and it was. I haven't got a digital readout. I apologise about that. It's about 4 mil. That stuff is 4 mil. So you've got, and to put the whole lot together, and if you brazed it, of course, you're probably going to get about 10 mil out of it. All right, 10 mil plus something like this. That's only 3.5 mil. 3.5 mil of copper there. A lot of copper. Very expensive stuff, copper. All right. If we measure this stuff, what do we got? What have we got? All right, let's have a look. We have around about 10 mil. Now they're saying this is 1,000 amps. Now let's see how wide it is. It's 30 mil. All right, so it could be 1,000 amps. I know that 25 mil, which is it? What is this? 25 mil? No, this is 50 mil. So I worked it out off 50 mil, right? 50 mil at 10 is 600 amps. So 600 amps that is. So I can't test it at the moment, but I don't believe these are actually 1,000. They might be called the LYNX 1000 in. I'm not sure what the actual rating is. I'm going to have a quick look, because that's 30 mil and the other stuff's 50 mil, and it's a 10 mil wide, or maybe a teeny bit less than 10 mil. So would be enough amps, because I'm only pulling, at the moment when I look at it, I pull probably 40 amps, 40 to 50 amps out of the system, but there'll be more. So I need more amps to go through this stuff. I don't know, and it doesn't feel... Okay, so I've got these. I've got a heap of different bolts for doing me Busbar that I was going to do. So I bought them, and just happens to be I was very, very lucky. I bought them a couple of weeks ago, and they fit nicely into the grooves. That one doesn't, because it's so small. This one will. Okay, I've got these cheap Chinese fuses, which I like. They'll do the job. Only problem is it's not going to work, because there's not enough room between those two bars. Plus, once it's in, it's going to sit across the top of the negative, so I'm going to have to cut them off and drill this up further to get them in. I don't think the other one, they're all the same size. It's a 175. Now there's probably a different size fuse, but I haven't got them here. And me being cheap, and there's another one there. Me being cheap, I'm just going to have to grind them out. Take a little bit off on this one and the other one, then grind the ends of these off to put them on there. This one's 100. I've got 175. Got 200s hanging around somewhere. So that's what I'm going to do. Okay guys, so we just need to punch a hole in the center. I've actually gone through, but that's okay, because I've got an 8.5 mil drill to drill through the center of the unit. Try and get it as center as possible. And that's it. very quick. And so then we just grab our bolt, which I found some nuts a second ago, which is good. So you won't get it on with the washer, so don't do what I just did. Put it in there without the washer. Now you got that there. Pop that on top. Oh god. Yeah. Pop that on top. Then put a locking washer on, and then put your nut on to that. Now you might have to push it up in the air and hold it so it doesn't go anywhere. Once you've got that on, you'll need another washer and a locking nut and maybe a springy. Depends on how you're going to do it. Just plug that on there. I should have enough room for it. Let's have a quick look. So, still have to find two more nuts around in my nuttery to check that. Now, at the moment, if you see something flying around, it is just a blowfly that they've just arrived back in Australia. Well, we traditionally call them here in Australia the bush budgie, because they make a hell of a noise and they're just like a small budgie flying around, but they're actually a fly. So yeah, all good. So that'll work great. I'm going to have to drill a little bit more into here to get that on, and also to get that away from this other buzz bar. Even though it's lower, if it gets contacted, it's going to blow it. So I'll cut these off with a grinder and drill that out, and I'll be back in a sec. It is a 2A70 bolt coming through, and then I locked it on with a nut. Now, I didn't have the right fuses. I had these fuses that fit the Chinese ones, but apparently the Victron fuses are like $100 and I can't afford that. So I've made it as tight as I can. If I take that off, it is really, really, really tight to get on and off, which is great, because you have to actually really try and get that off. So I've made that like that. Now, yeah, I should have more guts here. I could probably make something up, and I probably will, to cover that over. Make a little lug or something over it to go over it. That'll hold that in there. I'll cut the ends off here, and that'll be my fuse holder. And yeah, for the $200, by the time you go and buy $30 of nuts, and to get an enclosure, which I didn't have an enclosure, and I was trying to think of how to do that, this is probably the easiest way to go. And if you're watching my channel and you're not subscribed, please subscribe. I need some more subscribers. The builds cost me a fair bit. I'm on a pension. This is me doing this for myself. Yes, I'm not asking for donations, because that's not fair to you guys. It's you know, I'm not going to ask donations for anyone, but I would like you to subscribe if you can, and that would be great. Okay, just finishing off. We've got it all set up here. I've used 4.8 mil bolts through it, and the nuts I've had to locate. This is actually a 5 mil, and the 5 mil will not fit in, so it's 4.8, 4.9. I apologize for all our American viewers. So here comes another bush budgie. I'll try and zoom in on our bush budgies. There he is there, off he goes, and he's away. So yeah, I'll get a couple of bush budgies in the shed during summer. Bit of annoyance, really. Anyway, that will be it for this video. I don't know what I'm going to do with that, but we'll work it out somehow. always do. So I can bring out the side 2 more. I'm going to be pretty happy with that. We'll end up getting another one of those probably eventually. Maybe. Who knows? Might not ever have to do it. Yeah. So have a good weekend, everyone. And I'll catch you on the next one.